Nadine Chakar. She's a very powerful, knowledgeable individual in the fintech global markets and helping develop and influence global digital transformation in financial institutions, okay? So this includes banks, governments, institutions, you name it, she's there. She's also worked at BNY Mellon and has vast connections, okay? Not just in the US, but around the globe, okay? She has connections to political elites. She also has influence on shaping and creating regulation. Congress has asked for her insight, okay? Keep this in mind. She is heavily involved in shaping innovation, which primarily involves cryptocurrency and DeFi, okay? Decentralized finance. Okay, keep this all in mind. Now, think about this. Retail, for the first time ever in history, okay, has gotten into crypto, has gotten into a new asset class before the institutions, before the banks, okay? They never cared about us. Okay, keep this in mind. These political elites, Congress, governments, okay, they never cared about retail. Me and you, they never cared about regulating the market, regulating crypto, or passing laws, okay? They never cared until these big, huge banks, multi-billion, trillion-dollar industries started diving into it and started telling Congress, hey, start regulating it. We want to pour our billions and trillions of dollars into this and make money off of people. That's the only way governments felt the need to start regulating it and start passing laws, okay? Keep this in mind.
There's a couple of things that are a little bit different about this. This is the first time in our history where we've seen actually retail lead and institutional follow, but the certainty that we're getting right now from the regulatory and the legal framework is helpful, and we'll continue hopefully to see that progress. Also, the use cases that Dan talked about, they have a common denominator here is they bring more efficiency into the process, right? We know how to manage collateral, we know how to do all these things. A firm like DTCC.
So for the first time ever, retail got in before the institutions, okay? Nadine Chakar just confirmed this, okay? I don't know how many other, politicians or global elites I need to show you in order for you to get it, you know what I'm saying? Now, banks are already starting to get into this, okay? They want to sell it to the peasants, okay? They're never going to want to lose. They understand that we are early, okay? This is just to confirm to you what is going on. It already is starting.
And if you can automate the entire collateral management flow and then automate these individual processes, what you free up is instant settlement of these transactions for financial institutions. And the impact of that is a massive release of value that's locked in their balance sheets, even intraday. And that can have a major impact on the bank's efficiency and performance, on the order of millions of dollars a day. There's a substantial driver there. And once you open those markets to tokenization and automation, everything else follows.
So as one famous Bostonian once said, the institutions are coming, right? And we're starting to see progress where more certainty in the market is helping institutional adoption.
The growth of these markets really underscores what I think everyone is seeing, that by 2030, they're anticipating on the order of $15 trillion worth of assets on blockchain rails, and far more transactions per day based on that assets under management under blockchain.
Okay, they expect this market to grow to 15 trillion by 2030. So are you going to wait until 2030 to actually make that decision and say, hey, I'm going to invest my money in this? You're going to be at the top investing your money. Okay, don't be that individual. Okay, don't be that person that invests their money when they're already at the top. Okay, come on now, you know better than this. Okay, you invest at the bottom, not at the top. Okay, don't be that individual. Now, he's just being conservative. Okay, it's going to be a lot more than 15 trillion. Come on now.
By tokenization, what we're trying to do is try to take this mountain of paper and turn it into a token. And the token includes the rights of the token holder. It's a security, like the papers are security, it's a security. But once it's digitized, it can move much more freely. It can flow. So it means that you can have more tradability within regulations. So in some cases you can sell to everybody, in some cases you can sell to groups of people. It changes from place to place in the world, but generally speaking, it becomes much more tradable. It's also much more flexible because the rights of tokens owners can be programmatically changed. You can create smart contracts that make all sorts of new ways of doing things. And also it becomes almost immediately global, 24/7.
How does the current system work? Okay, you obviously get it. We live in it. We're peasants to the system. Okay, and we're always going to continue being peasants to the system. Okay, banks are not open 24/7. Banks are not open 365. We all know this. Banks are not open on Christmas. Banks are not open on Thanksgiving. But this new world that these banks and institutions, large corps, the large institutions, the world that we're heading into, they know that they are going to be open 24/7, 365. Okay, not only that, but now think about what did the internet do to communication. We went from communicating by letters, by mail, to then email. Lightning speeds. People are able to get our email within seconds. Okay, just hear me out. You send a message over to Messenger. You sent somebody a message via Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever, they'll get it within 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, okay? So what did the internet do for communication? Now, how many companies became companies because of the internet? You've got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got TikTok, you got all of these different huge multi-billion-dollar industries and businesses that were born because of the internet, okay? So the internet communicated humanity around the world, okay? In a matter of seconds. Now, what these dudes are trying to do is they're trying to take it on a financial scale, okay? They're taking this to a whole new level with blockchain technology. When you hear the word blockchain, it's crypto, okay? They're just using fancy terminology to confuse you. Digital assets, blockchain, DLT, decentralized ledger technology, okay? It's the same thing. It's crypto, okay? It's technology. This is Web 3.0. This is the next phase in evolution. This is the next phase in innovation. They know this. Congress knows this. Institutions know this. The average individual doesn't care. The average individual is a peasant, okay? I'm a peasant. We're peasants, okay? Let's just be honest. I'm sorry. I just have to call it how it is, okay? These peasants just want to stay peasants, okay? This is your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take advantage, okay? We are early. They know this. So, like I said, what did the internet do to communication? It revolutionized the whole entire world, okay? This is what's happening. Now, as soon as they start using these digital tokens, this crypto, okay, just understand this. Yes, there's a bunch of scams. There's different cryptocurrencies that serve different purposes. But after regulation, Congress is going to start regulating it, and they're going to start getting rid of pretty much the useless ones, the scams, all this kind of stuff. Exactly what you see now in the stock market, okay? So, what do you think is going to happen to these digital tokens after institutions and banks already are in, okay? Once they start flooding the system with their billions, with their trillions, okay? Let's say, for example, they start using a token that is only 25 cents right now. When they start flooding the system with their billions and trillions and moving their money all around the globe, 365, okay? Like, I don't think you understand this. 365, 24/7, okay? These tokens are going to be swapped, used, sent, spent, you know, they're going to be used on a daily scale, on a daily basis. What's going to happen to a 25-cent token once the institutions flood in? Because they're starting to already, okay? Tokenization is a whole different topic that I have to get into. It's like I said, it's a whole rabbit hole. But these prices are not going to stay at 25 cents. They're not going to stay at 8 cents. They're not going to stay at $1, okay? Let me just put it that way. Now, there's a fixed supply. There's limited amounts of digital assets. Now, what happens when there's high demand, okay? What happens when there's high demand? All these banks want these tokens, and there's only a limited amount, okay? Like, think about it.
You know, Mr. Vargas asked the question of people have the potential to lose a lot of money. These things are volatile. They're risky. How do we protect them from those kinds of issues? There are two ways of answering that. One is to prevent as many people as possible from accessing this amazing technology. For example, the way the current legal regime works is certain kinds of assets can only be purchased by accredited investors, meaning rich people. So the only people who can get rich on this are people who are already rich. That'd be one way of protecting people from losing money, is to make sure that only the richest can access it. Another way of addressing it would be to make it safer the way that we made equities safer 40 years ago, right? We created mutual funds, diversification, sector funds, and other things that make it easier for regular Americans from places like my hometown in Colorado to buy equities without having to be stock experts. Strangely, in the US, we've refused to do that so far. So we don't.
The powers in our society on Wall Street and in Washington have spent millions and are trying to make billions or trillions in the crypto world. These include Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Visa, BlackRock, Citadel, Musk, and Zuckerberg, not to mention the CEOs that are before us here today. Everyone before us today is a crypto advocate. We will at some point hear from the crypto critics. We won't hear from CEOs. We'll hear from academics with their pencils and pens. Today we hear from the CEOs with their